Hello, welcome back to my channel. I took a little break from the HRCYED recommendations in order to film a couple of other videos, but we are back and we have reached the biomes part of the challenge. And here we are supposed to read 6 different biomes featuring on the cover. As you can see, I have started, so I'm feeling very proud of myself. But let me get out the recommendations I have for you, and then I will show you my TBR as well, because obviously I still need 5 more books. So as you can see, I did read the book Woman of Troublesome Creek, and I have it here. This is the cover that I did read. And I do think the biomes one, like any cover specific one, is kind of hard because I get most of my books from the library, so I can look stuff up on Storygraph, for example, and see that this cover has some forest in the background. But I might get a different cover from the library, because obviously they just give me the book they have available, like the edition they have available, so it might not necessarily fit with the prompt I was looking for. But yeah, I don't have a big owned physical TBR library at my house, so I am dependent on the library, and that's why these cover prompts can be a little bit difficult sometimes. But anyway, let's just move it along. So first up, the book Woman of Troublesome Creek. Like I said, we do have the forest in the background, and they do talk about like the forest quite a lot. This takes place in Appalachia, you know, the mountains. And it's also about the blue people of Kentucky, which I was not aware of when I started reading it. But it does talk about, I do think it's a little bit trying to do too much almost, because it's about the Packhorse Library project that took place in the 30s, I believe, trying to spread literature into the rural areas of the United States. And then also these blue people of Kentucky that turned out to be a genetic, what's called genetic thing that literally made people blue. And I just thought it was a little bit all over the place with those two big topics, and then there was also like a romance running through, and then at the end it sort of took like a weird turn. I don't know, I did enjoy it, but it was just like a little bit all over the place. Then you could also read Beach Read. Obviously this is a beach, a very very stylized beach, but I would count it, because it's the sand. They have the blankets out, the towels. Yeah, so Beach Read by Emily Henry. And I actually cannot remember what this was about. Hang on, okay, I did remember, I just wasn't sure, and I didn't want to, sell you on the wrong book. But in case you haven't read it, this is a romance by Emily Henry. I feel like Beach Read was one of her like earlier books that like really blew her up, as far as I remember anyway. I don't really read a lot of romance, but I did enjoy this one. This one is about 2 writers, and one is a romance writer and one is a literary fiction writer. And for some reason they end up in this small town where they are neighbors, and they're both kind of stuck in a rut. So they decide to challenge each other and switch genres. So the romance writer has to write a literary fiction, and the literary fiction writer has to write a romance. And then it's just really about, those two teaching each other about the tropes of their different genres. And obviously they go on these artist dates or what have you, like, oh, I'll show you the perfect romance book date. And yeah, I mean, you can tell where it's going. Then I feel like we really hit the gold with the Every Heart a Doorway series by Seanan McGuire, because there's a lot of these books. They are quite short, so they are also great for readathons and what's it called? Challenges. Because you can read a lot of them quite fast, and a lot of them have different biomes on the cover. So I have a few to show you, but this is the first one, and this takes place in this school for children who have been transported to different worlds, like Narnia. Why can I never come up with other worlds than that? But transported to, for example, Narnia, and then have returned to our world, and now they're like can't really fit in anymore. So at this school, the teacher understands what's happened because that happened for her too when she was a kid. But she tells the parents that, obviously these kids are, hallucinating, having some mental issues, blah, 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 but we'll take care of it. But really, she is just trying to help the kids find their way back to these other worlds, because these kids were much happier back there. In our world, there is also a school for the kids who want to stay in our world and want to, process what happened and move on. Anyway, every heart a doorway. Obviously, there's another forest here. So if you don't want to read Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek, you can read this one. Come Tumbling Down. I would say this is like a heath moor landscape. Across the green grass fields, it's grass fields, like meadows. There is a tree here, so I feel like we are right on the edge of maybe a little wooded area, but like back here, there are definitely meadows. Where the Drowned Girls Go, here we have the sea. And Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear. I feel that's such a tongue twister for me. I would call this like a lake, probably because of the, what's it called, these reefs? I don't know, but like a lake scene. Yeah. So you definitely have your pick of different biomes with a lot of these books. So what we have the forest, we have the moors, we have the meadows, the sea, and the lake. So that's 5. And then you just need one more biome. And then I'm like, what is another biome? Maybe some mountains. Do you have any good mountain books? Because I also have here When the Tides Held the Moon, but that is also the sea. Oops. Another one with the sea, and this is about what's it about? A merman who is caught by a circus, and it's in the like late 1800s, I think, like sort of Victorian, but in the States. So he's caught by this circus manager who wants to show him off and make money off of him, obviously. But this other guy is caught up in this circus, but he feels bad for the merman, and he tries to figure out how to help him get free. And there's also an aspect of found family with the other members of this circus. It was pretty meh for me because I just felt like it dragged on a little too long, but other people really love it, so don't take my recommendation for anything. That was pretty much what I had for you guys. If you do have any mountainous books, leave them below in the comments for other people, because we need 6, and I think I only covered 5 biomes as far as I remember. Oh no, if we do all the Sean Maguire books and then beach read, that could be 6. Okay, as for my own TBR, the Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek was on there, so I read that one. And I also counted that one for road trip, I think, because it was set in Kentucky, and I feel like a lot of American books aren't set in Kentucky. It's very much California or New York. So anyway, my TBR. For the ocean, I have A History of the World in 12 Shipwrecks. I studied maritime archaeology, so I'm pretty interested in, the history of the world, shipwrecks, and what they can tell us and how they can tell us that. So that should be pretty interesting. Then I have Ode to the Half-Broken, and I feel like this is just now coming into its own, sort of. I'm starting to see it around a lot, and it's getting really, really good recommendations. So as for the biome, I would call this a cityscape. I'm pretty sure that counts as a biome. It counts in my book. And this is, the world has almost collapsed, and we are in the aftermath of whatever happened, and we meet this robot, I believe, and they were caught up in whatever happened, but they don't really like to think about it. But the past comes back to haunt them because someone attacks them and steals one of their legs. So they sort of have to go explore and find out what's going on and get their leg back. I do believe that is a dog, so you could also use it for the animals on the cover. Then I had the book Woman of Troublesome Creek, because obviously there was some forest here, like I said. Oh, I did not edit these pages. Then we do have, I'm assuming, like an Agatha Christie, but I think it said like unfinished by Agatha Christie and then finished by Lucy Foley. Murder at the Grand Alpine Hotel, and here are some mountains in the background. Let me just have a little look at the synopsis. Okay, so I don't actually think Agatha Christie had anything to do with it. It seems like Lucy Foley, I assume, got permission or got contracted or whatever to write a Miss Marple mystery, and that's why Agatha Christie's name is on here. But there is a Grand Alpine Hotel, and a bunch of people come from far and away, like the young heiress, an old movie star, all those, that type of a tropey group of hotel guests, if you will. They come to this hotel, there's a murder and a blizzard, so no one can leave, and Miss Marple is the only one who can figure out what's going on and try to not have any more murders going on. Then we have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and I'm assuming space is a biome. I'm doing a lot of assumptions on this one, as you can tell. But yeah, I don't think I need to tell you what Project Hail Mary is about. Honestly, I did read The Martian like way back when, and really enjoyed it. But I don't know, when this one first came out, I wasn't really into it because it seemed a little bit dude bro-y, and that's not usually my type of sci-fi. But like I said, I did enjoy The Martian. I really liked the science of it all because it was sciencey, but explained enough for me to almost understand it. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same here, and people do say that it's great. So I'm going to put my faith in that and read the book. So we have space, mountains, forest, which I've already read, cityscape, and the ocean. And I think maybe I was under the impression that you only had to read 5 books, because I feel like it changes between 5 and 6 books that you need to read, so I'm never sure which is which. But let's have a little look at the Storygraph challenge and see if we can find a 6th book with a different biome on the cover. Okay, I've zoomed you in a little bit, so hopefully you can see and the quality isn't too bad. But I have added a few books, but I do feel like The Wager is the ocean. We already have that one. You Again is a wooded area. I kind of think it's more a park than the forest, but yeah. Then we have Must in Space. Not gonna lie, don't know anything about this, but it does have like, again, we are in the mountains as far as I can tell, but I would call this like mountain meadows, so that could count for our 6th book. We also do have the beach here, Out on a Limb. that is a romance. And like I said, I don't read a lot of romance, but every now and again, I do like to dip my toes in the genre just to see if there's something I would like. Now, this one, Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. What would you call this? I'm assuming this is like a little lake that has frozen over, so like a lakeside beach thing. I am reading a short story collection by Claire Keegan right now, and I'm not loving it. But that could just be because I don't usually love short stories. And it has been translated into Danish, which is also not usually my thing. Like, I do prefer to read authors in English if they have written it in English, you know. But that was the one that was available, so I had to get it. Yeah, and I'm just not loving it. It's very bleak, and I feel like this could be quite bleak as well. You know, just like character studies of bleak, depressed people. And that's not really my thing. I enjoy a good plot. So let's have a little look-see and see what other people have added. And spoiler, like, this is how I find most of my recommendations for you guys, and also my own TBR. Just like scrolling through and what's it called, shamelessly stealing all the stuff that other people have put on here. But I do think it's the easiest way, and I do contribute sometimes, so it's not like I'm completely useless. You could also read A Psalm for the Wild Build. Again, that's a really short one, 147 pages, but I really enjoyed it. And I would probably call this landscape, what would we call it? A meadow, maybe? Like grasslands? I don't know. Oops, sorry. I think they are going into the woods, so potentially that would also be one for the woods. Now, see, sometimes, like, you can't really trust people because this is not a biome. This is a black cover. You know? What's happening? Who put this here? Anyway, quite a lot of romance, I think, quite a lot of watery covers. Let's see, there's also some water. We could do, I did have mountains, so some sort of beach, I think. I could use, or we do have a cityscape as well. We do have forest. So a beach, this green and pleasant land. I feel like I've heard of that one. The forest and the jungle. That would be two different biomes, wouldn't it? It wouldn't my book, because very different animals live in the forest than in the jungle. Okay. Let's see. Like, again, this one, it's not a biome on the cover. Like, what? Yeah. This one might be interesting, but I can't really tell what the biome is. Like, from context clues, I would maybe say the prairie, like the Midwest tornado land. Yeah. As you can see, I do, again, not a biome. Anyway, like, this can really annoy me. Also, Salt to the Sea, really, really good young adult historical fiction about the Second World War and the Wilhelm Gustloff tragedy. If you enjoy Brutus Sepetys and haven't read this one yet, definitely give it a go. I recently reread it and really enjoyed it. But like I said, a lot of watery covers for some reason. What is that? That was space. Is this boring for you? I see, now here there's one that looks interesting, like a historical mystery, which I do really enjoy, but then it's the third in a series, and I'm like, a very short introduction to mountains. But I do have mountains already. Actually, I could maybe read the next one in the Wayward Children series, because I have only read up to number 6, but then that would be the ocean again. And where's number? Yeah, that would be 7. And then this is, what kind of biome is that? That's another forest. And mislaid in parts have known. I think the biome of dinosaurs. That could work, because I think this is like a, what's it called, you know, that river delta area thing. And otherwise we have the adrift in currents, clean and clear, which I count as a lake biome, which I don't have yet. Also, we could do a song of sugar sparrows, because that is like fields of corn, I think that was. Okay, so I can definitely find something, and I'm not opposed to just reading for all the other prompts and then see whatever fits here. That is how I get like a good chunk of my reading, actually. But yeah, a lot of watery covers. That is not a biome. Okay, we could be scrolling for ages. Ooh, snowy landscape. That could also be one. Not that I want to read the mating game, but yeah, okay, so let me know if you have any recommendations for beachy covers, snowy covers, and lake covers, because I think that's what I need to do to, that's what I still need to hit 6 different biomes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. We are nearing the end, but a lot of these, a couple of these last ones I feel like are a bit more personal ones, so I'm trying to figure out how I can recommend stuff to you, even though, you know, for example, the It's My Birthday prompts are quite personal to all of us. So, but if you are born in February, I can never say it, so that's really annoying that it's my birthday in that month, then you can definitely take some of my recommendations. But we are not there yet. We need a couple of different prompts first, so Remix is next. So I'll see you soon with that video. Thanks for watching. Bye!